week on the Dirthead Shed. I had to throw together a video in the quickness, so there's going to be a little bit of everything going on. Hey, what do you do when you got to have a video ready to go and you aren't really ready for it? What do you got, Hazel? What do you got? What do you got? What's going on? You just go out to the shop and you start working. You figure it out as you go. Let's go get busy. So it's Wednesday. I've been back to work for a few days already after the Unreal Adventure. And the shop is just blown out. I got my mini truck in here. I got Mom's spaghetti back in here, just unloaded from the trip. It's chaos. And I really don't have my act together enough to like jump it back into working on the butter Jeep. I need to get started on that electrical system on it. But what I do have going on is I got like tonight and tomorrow night after work and a little bit of time on Friday if I absolutely have to use it. So we might as well figure out what we can get done in the shop in a quick amount of time and try and have some fun with it. First stop, the 717 gears that I had in Mazda Grande, I found a buyer for them. So actually tonight I'm selling the locker for this Dana 60. Tomorrow I'm selling the 717 gear set. So I got to pop that locker out of there and go meet a dude to sell that locker. So let me grab some tools and we'll get this handled. I need to haul the gears with me to work tomorrow, and then I need to haul this locker tonight. So no shortage of stuff to do, that's for sure. That looks like a 13 16 7 8. Alright, all the ring gear bolts are loose. Oh, this locker is one of the ring gear popped right off. That's good. Whew. So the gear set's gonna go away. I'll haul that to work with me tomorrow. Tonight we're getting rid of the locker. That's a Dana 60 456 and up Power Tracks grip lock, which is a really cool locker, but I can't think of it's a good locker for a front low pinion Dana 60, but if I go with the high pinion Dana 60, I need a 410 and down carrier brake one. So I don't really need this locker around, so I can go ahead and get rid of it and replenish a little bit of money from the cost of the UA. And then tomorrow I can get rid of these gears, because I don't really plan on running 717s and anything ever again, or at least not anytime soon. I'm back to cruising Mazda Pequeño. That's that little burgundy lowered Mazda that I've got. Last time you saw this thing, I was messing with the stereo system in it, went for a test drive, and it had a terrible engine noise. Like, just sounded like the thing was coming apart. Well, it turns out it was just the alternator. I think there was something was going on in the alternator, and the bearings would lock up in it, and then it would chuck the belt. It spun the belt or locked up and broke the belt twice. So the alternator was pretty easy fix. I was able to get a new one from Rock Auto, and it bolted right on, and the thing's been good to go. I do have a pile of other parts for this. I've got all the tune-up stuff, plug wires, timing belt, and all kinds of stuff over here. So we will probably get into doing some real maintenance on this rig before too long, but right now we're just gonna go use it as my commuter and go try and sell some parts, recoup some money from that UA adventure. This is my turn. Let's see what we got here. Some copyright-free background music. royalty-free, bass boosted. There we go. Get rid of that. Oh wow, this is gonna be friggin' loud. I don't know if it'll sound good or not, but since I did that whole MTX audio system in here, I've kind of gone through the deck and figured out some of the settings, and I feel like I've got sort of the gains on the amp right, the highs are sounding way better, the volume is like down lower in the volume number than it was before, so it's like the whole system's sounding way better and clearer and louder, so pretty stoked. I don't know if you guys can get much of it. Yeah. It sounds freaking good. It's pretty hard to find cool music when you gotta do the royalty-free thing. I was listening to Yellow Wolf a minute ago, and now I'm listening to some weird techno bop bass music. But you have to do what you gotta do when you're trying to play by the rules. See how it sounds. Quick and easy. Time to get back to the house. I need to grill some burgers, feed the family, and then get back out to the shop. It's a hustle, but it seems to be all pretty well worth it. Pretty amazing weather we're having right now. It's sort of like the end of shoot, I guess we're mid-September right now actually. Before we know it, it's going to be winter and cold. I need to get that guac and roll like together and the butter jeep done. Try and get both of those things running and driving before the weather sets in. Got that locker sent down the road. That thing's going to end up living its life in the front of a K30 Chevy pretty soon, so that's cool. And then I figured I would go through my mail. I've been getting a bunch of cool stuff, especially since I was gone on UA for a full week. The first thing being this. Look at that. Cover a Crawl magazine. This month, the orange Jeep truck thing is on the cover of it. Super awesome. And kind of a really good article. This is also neat. My buddy Andrew that bought the thing, he works for Milestar Tires. So it's on the Milestar ad on the inside cover and on the cover on the outside. And it's got a really cool feature on the whole rig, and it goes way back. It even goes into when it was being built for Peterson's 4-Wheel and Off-Road magazine with Fred and my buddies over at Hazard Fab. So it's pretty neat. Even shows it on the assembly line. So if you get a chance, grab an issue of Crawl. Still a really good paper magazine, doing off-road stuff and hardcore rock crawling, and featuring ultra cool orange Jeep truck things. So that was awesome. I also ran by my P.O. box. I got a note from a couple, Rachel and Josh, out in North Carolina. They sent me a nice note, said things are going good and they appreciate this channel, so thank you guys for supporting that. And then I got this one out of a guy named Wayne out of North Dakota. Mailed me a box of Wild Dutchman sunflower seeds. Look at that. Oh, Flamin' Bacon original open pit barbecue. Oh, and cheddar dill. My daughter was actually asking if we had any cheddar dills in the shop, so stoked on that. Also got some Dots pretzels. So, radical. I'm all stocked up. I like used up almost all my seeds when Keith and Sam were out here and we went on UA, and I don't have any Wild Dutchmans left, so this is perfect. I'm going to be all stocked up. Thank you so much, Wayne, and thank you guys for supporting the channel as much as you do. It's pretty awesome. If you need to, if you want to get a hold of me ever, this is the address. It's Dirthead Shed, P.O. Box 1025, Mead, Washington, 99021. So that's if you ever want to send me anything or ask me questions or whatever, and I'm not able to get back to you on any of this social media and all that junk. So I will check the mail. I'm going to go ahead and throw these in my stash box, and I want to throw a set of forks on my green GT mountain bike because there was a smoking deal at Jensen Bikes before I left, and I picked up a new set of front forks for that thing. So I'm going to throw those on and maybe go for a ride tomorrow after work. Too much stuff. Too much stuff. Stuff is awesome. Check this out. I picked up a set of RockShox 35 RL Gold, I believe is the model. These were on Jensen USA's website for $100 for a set of like air cartridge adjustable RockShox, like the legit real deal. The ones that are on here are not adjustable in their coil spring. They actually look like they're the same. It's like the same body, and they're good quality, but these ones are infinitely more adjustable and should be a little bit lighter weight. So I got my bike all torn apart, laying all over the floor, pieces everywhere. But bikes are so easy to work on, and it's like very few tools. Most of this stuff, that's a paint scraper and an old screwdriver and some Allen wrenches, a pipe cutter, and a tape measure, and we're getting all this work done. I matched the steer tube length to the old one there, and just sort of chopped that off with the pipe cutter. So now it's just time to knock the bearing race back on there, put a little grease on the bearings, and we can start reassembling this thing. Pretty cool. There we go, new fork installed. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my tools and wrap it up in here for the night. Maybe I'll take this thing to work with me and try and get a ride in on the way home. That would be nice. Morning. Alright, I'm rolling into work. I'm just going to give you an insight on sort of what's going on around here. I work here at Diesel Power Products, and I basically just work on like company promotional vehicles and like the owner's rigs and things like that. So right here I've got this late model two-door Bronco that I did a video actually on doing the suspension kit on this about a year ago, and now we are throwing in different axles and differential. We also have a really cool four-door here that was a Sasquatch package, but we put like Dana Ultimate 60 in the back and a heavy-duty Dana front. So now I'm putting the factory Sasquatch Wild Track differentials in this base model Bronco, kind of working through all that. So we're getting gear ratio changed by doing that, getting electric lockers by doing that. But at the same time, I'm creating a problem by getting rid of, this one is just a solid intermediate shaft here. And this one that came out of the rig had a center axle disconnect. So I'm kind of working through the problems that we're about to have with traction control and ABS and all that. So that's one project I got going on. This was a cool ram that I just did like a BDS 4-inch lift on, and coilover conversion methods and 38s, 38-inch Falcons. So this is 2025 Ram 2500. did that. That's getting a bunch of, that one's basically all promotional stuff. So they got like a red GMC out there, the blue Ram, and then we got a white Ford. So they're going for the old red, white, and blue. The GMC though has to come in right now because I've got a 1-inch lift block to throw on the back of it, and it's got a screw in the tire, so I got to patch that. That's kind of it. That's what I'm doing here at the day job. I also brought my bike with me. Obviously, I want to try and ride after work. So this is the old 65 Chevy that a lot of people have been interested in. I just got done building a hidden winch mount for that. Got a custom width drum come up winch for it. So that's going to be going in. And check this bad boy out. It's all like race truck style suspension, trailing arms, coilovers, bypasses, a bunch of crazy work. I just finished doing all stainless TIG welded mandrel exhaust and throwing on this Brannick Motorsports just massive like race truck sway bar system on it. So this one is the owner's truck, and it belonged to his dad. I think his dad bought this thing new in '65, so kind of throwing the book at it, which is cool. We'll get back to that another time. Right now I got to do normal stuff like throwing 1-inch lift blocks in and fixing a leaky tire. Since this video is actually supposed to be about how to make a YouTube banger in the quickness, I feel like it's pretty obvious. If you can build your channel to where people like watching what you do and how you go about doing your things, you don't have to sweat it too hard to make every video a banger. If you build the channel and you build your audience, they come and find you for what you like to do, what you're about. You can kind of get away with this, just showing a day in the life of what you got going on. I think it's pretty cool. When I started my YouTube channel, I purposely didn't overdo it with the camera work, and I purposely didn't overdo it with the editing. Try and keep things simple so it's easy to kind of easy to duplicate, and you don't set such high standards that you burn yourself out trying to keep up with them. So that's just sort of my take on making a good YouTube video. Just get in there, do what the people are there to watch, be yourself, and at the end of the day, you'll probably grow some subscribers. It's pretty cool. There we go, lift blocks are in the back. This thing's sitting level now. You torque the wheels, attach that tire, and this thing's out of here. I also got rid of those 717 gears, so that was a win. And it's almost lunchtime. Let's roll. Where's my keys? Alright, I made it to the top. Chilled out long enough to where I'm not huffing and puffing in bright red. What a rad ride. I was worried leaving work that it was going to be too hot, but it's perfect and it's just getting better. Let's go hit some downhills. So far the fork that I threw on this thing last night's good. I pumped it up a little bit, put like 120 psi in it, and I haven't even hardly moved the stanchions on it, you know what I mean? Let's go see if we can break this thing in a little bit. This bike's a little bit long in the rear triangle. It's great for climbing, but man, it doesn't pop the front tire up like the that Polygon does, or like my Roscoe. Let's go see how she does. Whew, got a lot of air in the tires too. So far, so good. Oh, shut her down. Whoo-wee. Let's go this way. Rear end feels super sloppy on this thing right now. Oh man, I got loose in the front. Man, this is not smooth. I don't know about this bike. I liked it at first, but man, it just feels like a sloppy kind of mess. I don't know if you'll catch this on camera, but so this bike has this triple triangle design where they didn't tie into the seat post. But look at this. The whole chassis is like flexing around. Either that or the wheels are flexing like crazy or something. Just doesn't feel right. Let's try that. So what are we getting out of this? How do you make a successful YouTube video in the quickness? Well, I think the main thing to think about is that you're just building a library. Not every one of these videos has to be a banger. Not everyone has to get 1 million views, 100,000 views, 10,000 views, whatever your goal is. Don't sweat it. Consistency is key. And if you're building your fan base or your support group on consistency and just what you got going on in life, and stuff like this is totally fine. Show your hobbies, show your work. Show what brings a smile to your face. Do what you can to get out there. It's really becoming more and more of a, YouTube is becoming more and more of a social media outlet, right? Look at that. What an amazing ride. So that's my take. If you're building a YouTube channel or starting one or a year in, try to do a style that is duplicable, right? You want to be able to duplicate what your fan base is there for. You want to be able to do that over and over again. Have it be a nice, reliable place for them to go and watch what you're up to. I have friends like Derek over at Vice Grip Garage who built his channel on doing rescues, right? And his videos get tons of views, but he's traveling like 40 weeks out of the year. He's buying like 40 cars a year. It's not very sustainable. That's a difficult job. It pays off in his case, but there's a lot of people who followed that recipe and it's not obtainable week after week. I have other friends who started by doing like overland style channels and doing these big beautiful videos, really cinematic stuff, and after a year of trying to keep up with that, they're struggling. So my channel is slow and steady. My whole life is slow and steady, and that's the way I make it work. I built the channel on stuff that I can do over and over again. I didn't get too fancy with camera work, and we're 3 years into it, and it's the best job I've ever had. It's one of the hardest jobs I've ever had, but it's awesome. So keep those things in mind. Keep watching your favorite channels and support them as best you can. I'm gonna try and get back to my truck safe, get to my house and start editing this because it's gotta be out tomorrow at 2. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching the Dirthead Shed. Oh, one-handed into the berms. Hang on. I gotta clip the camera back onto my nerd unit.